I'm going to start this sewing machine primer off with a little instruction on how to make a bobbin and how to put it into your case. The first thing that you're going to do, as you can see that I've already done, I've put the cone of thread on the spool, and it goes up through the upright there, and then it goes down to the tension dial. This is a sidewinder bobbin. You're going to have some that are a little different. They've got the bobbin winding up on the top, but the mechanism is the same. You're going to put your thread through the guide. And you're going to wrap it around from the back to the front. Okay, make sure that your thread is in that tension guide. If it's not, you're going to end up with a really loose bobbin. You need to put your empty bobbin case on the spool winder and take your thread and wind it around a couple of times around your bobbin. And then I like to wind it around this way so that it locks it in just a little bit. Engage your bobbin winder, which is just going to press that just a little bit in like that. And then you're going to engage your sewing machine, okay? Hold on to the thread for just a little bit before you get started so that it catches. It's not catching. And there it goes, okay? When you're winding, you want to make sure that you are first keeping an eye on what's happening. A lot of times people will wind a bobbin and they're not looking and it gets caught up. Sometimes I find them in the thread belting at the bottom, which isn't great. Okay. All right, that's about as far as I'm going to go there. I'm going to disengage my bobbin mechanism, and I'm going to cut my thread up at the top. Take your bobbin off and inspect it. This is one of the things that is the most important when you're winding your bobbin, is to make sure you have a really, really tight thread. You can see that my thread is really tight. It looks like it's almost wound, just like a spool of thread. That's super important. If it's really loopy or it's got bumbles, you know, loose threads in it, take your thread out and start over again. Now I'm going to put my thread into my bobbin case. Holding onto my bobbin case, I'm going to make sure that my thread on my bobbin is from 12 to 3. I'm going to put it into the case, and I'm going to find this little slit right here on the case. Holding on to your bobbin, all right, make sure that it's not spinning. You're going to put it into your slit, and then you're going to move it towards this little gauge here. And when it goes in, you'll hear it click just a little bit. And when you go to pull your thread, you should feel it dragging just a little bit in order, this will give it a little bit of tension. It's really important, again, because the bobbin thread needs to be on a little bit of tension when you're using your sewing machine. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how to hold your bobbin to put it into the sewing machine. You're going to make sure that the hole here is up on top. You're going to take this little lever and give it a pinch. And what that does is that stops the bobbin from falling out of your bobbin case, and that way you'll be able to insert it into the sewing machine a little bit easier. That's it for bobbins.